Alex's place of things that they like turned into numerous rooms for them to chill in. By Alex, she, they.
So over here we have a lock system, which allows people to not go into their not me or something. There's a water thing here, which I thought was cool because it's a decontamination thing. And over here we've got the main hall for with some flags on with the show I associate myself with, and it's pretty cool. And over here we have some crossroads. There are 4 ways you could go to the garden, sensory room. I'll talk about this later, there's a lot of stuff there. So over here in the garden, it's a pretty small garden, but some gardens are small. We have some plants here, a picnic blanket for me to lay on and do stuff on. Some plants, flowers, all that. It's pretty cool. Now into the sensory room. We have a bunch of bubble lamps here, which I figured out with a soul sand and water, which creates bubbles. And this little contraption here that goes you see it goes lights, and then it plays little sounds. So I thought it was cool for me to play around on. There's a tunnel there, but I won't show what it is yet because I don't want to spoil it. So over here, you probably know what I mean because I had to put them on 2 lines. So here is where things get weird. So I hit this lever, what do you think happens? So I just went through there, and where did it go? Oh yeah, we've got the blocage appreciation area. I didn't know how to make it because, 1 meter long, and I can figure out how to put them in blocks. So yeah, flick this lever while on the way out. This is a pretty long hall, and there's the tunnel over here. It actually goes past this area. Don't fall in it though, because you can't go back out. Back to the sensory room. So if we go back here, it's a pretty long tunnel. It's just a shortcut for me. But over here, there's a little secret room with activate was this button. So we go through here. Oh, I'll do that. So we go through here. Then we have our own little bedroom. With a bed over there, some paintings to fill up the space. Yeah, Minecraft, please just do this. Yeah, I have a little chalkboard for me to write things on. Yeah, not much to say. And then over here we have we have some iron doors, which is a one-way sort of thing, so you have to go through the button door. Yeah, pretty much nothing else to show, so...
Welcome to Mushroom Grove by Poppy, she, they.
Welcome to Mushroom Grove, weary traveller. My name's Poppy. May I offer you a hot cup of tea and cake? First of all, let me show you around. As you enter, you'll be welcomed by a winding pathway towered by mushrooms, flowers and blossoming trees. I absolutely adore them. Next you'll come across 2 paths, whichever one will you choose first? On the right path you'll find a twisting river with a frog statue at its beginning. How beautiful. A perfect spot to rest and enjoy the day. Mind the zombie fairies around the river. Through the left path you'll spot my mushroom cottage. Ever since I was really small, I've always loved the idea of living in a mushroom house. Please come in. Inside the floor is bouncy. It's a great way to let off some steam. Then on your way out, you'll find a little swing to sway upon and a pavilion full of paintings and books of wonders. Reading and painting are my favourite things. Behind my cottage there is a vegetable garden and beehives. You must try some of the honey they have made. I think bees are really cool. Carrying on through the path, you'll be led up a hill to my observatory. Inside, a comfy fireplace will greet you, shelves full of stories yet to be told, and paintings everywhere. There are 3 floors, so please do explore. At the top, you'll be able to spot the moon tonight. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, I believe you must be off now. It has been wonderful to meet you. Enjoy the rest of your journey. Please take some cake for the rest of the way.
A Bit of Everything by Goblin, she, her. A bit of everything, spoken for Goblin. Walking into the build, you pass through dark oak trees and enter a beautiful glade. There is a small pond lined with flowers of many kinds, tall sugarcane and big drip leaf. It looks like half a yin-yang, with the other side being a flowery space. The inside edge of the pond is home to potatoes and wheat. Wandering over to the other side of the build, you tread over a small bridge and head out of the forest to an open space filled with lanterns and streetlights. There's a bright fountain and beyond a Greek temple. The temple contains an illuminated pool. A small curved building is hidden next to a big hill. The building is a home with a long thin corridor following its curved shape. A bright turquoise door stands at the end of it, leading inside the mountain. Inside the mountain is a cosy room filled with floor-to-ceiling mushrooms, vines and flowers. There is a purple bed and a seating area in the corner. The rear wall breaks away to reveal a green glass window, showing anyone who walks by the hill a glimpse of the warm underground space. Goblin says, I was kind of going for open and cosy at the same time. I also wanted to include all of my interests, like the Greek temple and the gardens surrounded by trees. With the house, I decided to take inspiration from ancient Roman architecture with a spin on it. I've always liked the idea of living underground. The concept was always intriguing to me, which is what I did inside the mountain. I filled it with mushrooms and weird plants, naturally, and made it cosy. Paradise by India, she, her.
First on your left you arrive at the cosy space inside a tree, the Gallery of Memories. Each lantern holds a special memory of mine that I can hold to see what it has inside. The lectern is a journal and there are beautiful paintings scattered around. With candles lit for ambience, books and flowers, this is a cozy space to chill, sleep or make art. Up the stairs wrapping around the side of the tree is an enchanted area with a similar vibe. It has blankets, which are banners, hanging down and an open view to the sky and stars. As you go down the sandstone path, on the right is a hidden ladder on a tree to climb up. Continuing along the flowery path leads you into the garden. This is a very peaceful and serene place with lilacs and lilies all around. There's a small river you could flow through with a bridge leading over it. If the garden represents spring, then this corner of paradise represents winter, if you feel mentally like winter as well as it being cold and snowy. This is a place where you can go to just be and not worry about any bad textures, etc. It's all velvety and soft. Slightly dark with a few beds placed, this cloud-like snow biome is especially made for having low energy. There are also candles and lanterns hanging down, strung to fluffy clouds above. This area is layered in snow because I really like snow in Minecraft for its satisfying sounds as you place or walk over it. With nature all around, in the middle of the map there is a lake with prismarine for the floor, which changes from a greenish blue colour to a bluey purple. It's sourced from a waterfall flowing from a tall mountain or hill which you can climb up or ride down.
Comfort Characters by Kit, he, they.
Hi, my name is Kit and my pronouns are he/they. I'm builder 5 in Pillow Palace, and this is what I'd have in my perfect space. My idea is fully based on my comfort characters that mean a lot to me and have helped me a ton. For my plot, I chose 4 of my favourite comfort characters and made a build based on each one, and these are my characters. The narrator, main character of the Stanley Parable, a video game. The narrator is, well, just that, a narrator for the game Stanley Parable. He narrates the character you play as, Stanley. Him and Stanley go through the game together, with the narrator, or Narry as a nickname, doing the talking and narrating for Stanley since Stanley can't talk. He's British and doesn't like when Stanley doesn't listen to him. Since his character is just a voice with no actual appearance, I decided a big grey computer screen would be quite fitting for him, with a large yellow arrow circling it. The arrow is called the adventure line, which leads Stanley in the right direction in one of the endings of the game. The narrator likes the line quite a bit, which is why I included it here. Narry would be an amazing addition to my perfect space, with his need for a routine and not liking when things change out of control being quite similar to me. A lot of people also think he has autism, which just adds to how well he'd fit in. J-Schlat, antagonist of Dream SMP, a Minecraft SMP. He's a ram hybrid, mostly human with ram horns either side of his head. He's known for being drunk quite a lot, which is why I chose the tall green bottle house for his build. J-Schlat has only recently started meaning quite a bit to me, since me and a few friends have put together a roleplay group where we make up little scenarios to do with our favourite characters. Most would be against liking him since he's an insane villain, but I've got quite an attachment to the softer side of him. He became president of a country in GMSMP, making him hated by a lot of people with what he did with his power. However, the side that is more fandom-made and more soft has brought me a lot of comfort, and I'd love to have him in my perfect space. I chose to make it more dark and gloomy since his character isn't very happy-go-lucky, but I think the dim lighting and chill vibe gives it quite a comforting touch to me. Ray Morningstar, a main character of Fable SMP, another Minecraft SMP. He's a scientist who studies the Minecraft dimension The End, which is why I've chosen a potion bottle house with endstone flooring for his build. He has one ender eye and one normal eye, a purple stain around the ender one, inspiring the purple glass colour of the potion bottle. He has 2 boyfriends, since he's polyamorous, and they've helped him get out of bad habits. He often forgets to eat and sleep due to getting distracted with work, which I can relate to personally. He loves making different coloured signs and texts to get his thoughts out, and is obsessed with studying different dimensions. His special interest being science, and his forgetfulness would fit right in with my perfect space. He can get stressed easily, and can be hard on himself, only experimenting on himself, as he hates hurting others with his experiments. He also loves spore blossoms, which is why I've included them in this build, making all the green particles everywhere. He's very caring and selfless, and is also thought to be autistic by some people. Rain Whispers, a side character of The Owl House, a Disney Plus TV show. Rain is a bard witch, and is the head witch of the Bard Coven, which is just a big group of bards. They love music and can play every instrument you can think of, which is why I chose the black music notes around the build, and a bigger one in the middle to be a small house. Rain is canonically non-binary and uses they-them pronouns, inspiring the colour gradient of the non-binary flag on the floor of their build. Rain has meant a lot to me for years. I first found them and the show The Owl House in mid-2021, and my interest for them hasn't ceased since. They have stage fright, hating audiences and large crowds watching them. Rain is also a rebel, working to take down the villain with their secret team, the Bards Against the Throne, aka the Bats. The Bats have red in their uniforms, inspiring the red colours and carpet used inside the Music Note house. Rain being non-binary has meant a lot to me, and it's amazing to see in a Disney show. Rain being nervous and shy, but also powerful and witty, makes them a perfect addition to my perfect space, where they could play music and do magic to their heart's content.
Shadows and Stages by Robin, they them.
Shadows and Stages, spoken for Robin. Greetings, dreamer. My name is Robin, and welcome to my world of midsummer dreams. There are secrets hidden here. You can try and discover them for yourself, but if you'd like a guide for where to go, there are guidebooks in my build where needed. Firstly, thank you for visiting my build. Secondly, many thanks to Bea and Jill for inviting me to join such a cool project with so many amazing people whose builds have inspired me so much. This is Puck Playhouse. Anyone who knows me will know my love of performing and my passion for Shakespeare, especially A Midsummer's Night Dream. A theatre was one of the first things I thought of including, and what better than a theatre that always shows that play. I named the theatre after my favourite character, Puck, who, if you know the play, you may have figured out I'm also named after, his other name being Robin Goodfellow. Made mostly from quartz, with a regular proscenium arch stage, this outdoor performance space is small and simple with limited backstage room. In the wings, stage right, you will find a door. Due to time constraints with building, there is only one dressing room, though I'd like to imagine there would be more on a lower level. You will also find props and costumes should you like to act out your own play. But please put them back after use. Stretching high across the back of the build is the Rainbow Roadway. Why not climb to the top of the rainbow to see what you can find at the other end? Or use one of the spy glasses in the chest. With a bird's eye view, will you be willing to take the leap? Next comes Hidden Heights. Overgrown with flowers and ivy, amongst the trees hides a tower. A garden found at the end of the rainbow. Will you claim this secret as your own, or leave it forever forgotten. There are many secrets hidden here. Try and discover them for yourself. If you're having trouble accessing areas in Hidden Heights, there's a guidebook in the secret garden. My cosy courtyard is small, with flowers, trees and benches to relax on. Many rabbits live here, so be careful to close the gate behind you. Though the courtyard feels open and straightforward, people sometimes appear here from seemingly nowhere. And lastly, behind the scenes. All the world's a stage, but if that's the case, then what is hiding in the wings? Go round to the very back of the build for some thoughts on masking, self-acceptance, and my journey towards self-love.
Behind the Scenes by Robin, They Them.
Shadows and Stages, spoken for Robin. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Shadows on a stage full of stages. From nothing to nothing again, and yet that nothing holds so much. A meaningless existence full of meaning, you could call it. But if all the world's a stage, and everyone is merely putting on their best act, curating exhibitions of interests and personalities, then maybe, just maybe, we are not all so alone. Maybe others hide the same things you are so ashamed of, tucked away in their wings, or a forgotten backstage storage room. Pieces of people left to gather dust. For me, creating an exhibition of joy, of safe spaces, also means acknowledging that backstage. So, welcome to my wings. For years, I felt more comfortable on stage than off. I love performing, but I started acting all the time. I felt more comfortable as a character than I did in my own skin. So, in everyday life, I started putting on an act. Mostly little things, like practicing smiling in the bathroom mirror because my natural resting face was too serious and always made people ask if I was okay. Or toning down my happiness to not be too loud, too childish, or too much. I don't accept being told that anymore. I am not too much. I am more than enough in the best way. I'm not going to click with everyone, but we aren't all pieces of some giant puzzle. Just humans who don't all have to get along, but should respect and care for each other regardless. I'm learning to accept my backstage, and in the process, I get to discover which parts I want to play, instead of typecasting myself in my own life. Because what's the fun of that? If you're reading this, take a second to breathe. In and out. Relax your wings. It'll be okay. You don't have to keep constantly hiding everything under there. Not if you don't want to, anyway. Why not show yourself as who you truly are? You see, the problem with hiding things in your wings is then you can't use them to fly.
Virtual Reality by Beatrix, They Them.
An androgynous person with split dye pink and green hair stands tall in the centre of the build. They are wearing a swirled pink and green dress and a crop top with one sleeve on their right arm. They have pink and green earrings, pink nail polish on their right hand, and green nail polish as well as a striped black and white glove on their left hand. This person is me. They don't look much like me, but they're how I present myself in online social spaces. While I almost never wear clothes this bright or this tight with scratchy textures and lots of layers, my avatar can. My avatar holds a VR headset. It's white with a black head strap. It resembles an Oculus Quest 2 headset. Looking through the lenses, you can see bright yellow stars glowing on a black background. Virtual reality allows me to go places, have experiences, and learn things I couldn't access through real life.
Forest Floor by Joe Brown. He, him.
Forest Floor. Spoken for Joe Brown. Chalky and mossy with grassy patches, this forest floor is covered in roots from a tree that towers overhead. 2 insects shelter on the ground. A large centipede climbs over a lump of grass, its head and front legs raised up. A bright blue beetle sits at the base of a tree.
Welcome to House, TM, by AKTSB. He, him.
Welcome to House, TM. Spoken for AKTSB. A small wooden house sits on top of a tiered hillside covered in moss. Walking up a rocky pathway, you reach the house. Above the door, a sign reads, "Welcome to House, TM." Inside, straight ahead, are some note blocks, appearing like a DJ set. To the left is a large bookcase, placed in the middle of the room. There is a pressure plate placed on one of the bookshelves. If you stand on it, a secret door opens. Inside is a staircase leading underneath the hill.
My School by Brandy, she, her. My school, spoken for Brandy. I built my school because it's the best thing ever. Outside the school has the things I like doing outside school, and inside are the things I like doing inside school. My build is best viewed with night vision on. When you walk through the front door, you enter the reception. The walls are made of pink and purple wool because pink wool is my favourite. Turning right, we reach a large space in the middle of the school. This is the cafeteria. This first room is the library, big with lots of bookshelves. I like to go here to read my favourite stories. Next is gardening class with lots of flowers. Sunflowers on the left and then lilies on the right. After that is the tent village. This room has blankets built to be like forts. I have been on lots of camping trips and I always go to police cadets summer camp. This is one of my favourite rooms. The fourth room is the petting zoo. It has double doors so the animals don't escape, but they still keep getting out. It's filled with chickens, which I like to feed. Next is the gaming room, where I like to play on the Nintendo Switch. And the last room on this side of the building is the therapy squishy room. It also has chickens in it, but in my school it has a squishmallow, which I really like. On the other side we have cooking class. I really like cooking lessons. We recently learned how to make taco sticks, which were super yummy. I modified the recipe for my mum because she's vegan. It's fun to learn how to cook, especially when you can bring the food home afterwards. Next is the cinema room. My favourite film is Frozen 2, so I spend a lot of time here watching it. After that, it's the slime room. It's filled with lots of different kinds of slime, which I like to play with. This is the chillaxing room. I spend a lot of time here colouring in and watching TV. When I go home and chillax, I like to pet my rabbits. The kitchen is next along the hallway. It has 2 small corridors around it leading to the playground. At school we have a new chef. I think she's really nice. Outside there are flowers, water slides, trampolines and some parkour. The parkour goes over the football goal and by the flowers. It's pretty hard. There is a black rabbit sculpture in the middle of the playground. It's called Shade. I built the water slides because I've been to lots of water parks and the bowling alley for the same reason. On my birthday, I went to McDonald's and then bowling with my mum. She was trying really hard to lose, so she closed her eyes, but she got 2 strikes. I only got 1. My favourite subjects are maths and science because we do lots of experiments. My favourite teacher is my ICT teacher. I also like learning how to do typing and stop motion animation. It's so much fun. When people walk around my school, I want them to remember their favourite things about school. Tower by Jay, They It.
Tower, spoken for Jay. Hey, Jay here. Pronouns they, it. I'm the person who made this, here to inform you of a couple of things. First, I got overwhelmed and couldn't use the whole plot. Second, this build was created to be viewed without night vision. Have a good time. P.S. This is functional as a Minecraft base. I also stocked and organised the chests as I would in a survival world, plus some stuff I don't usually get, e.g. netherite. The front and central build is a spruce, prismarine and deep slate brick tower placed on top of a tall rock with a gradient from dark grey to light grey. The rock is covered in vines and the ground under it is textured with various green blocks such as moss and grass. The tower has high, pointed and slightly crooked roofs. One is made of warped planks, stripped warped wood and oxidised copper for the main building, and one made of crimson planks, stripped crimson wood and magenta terracotta for a small side tower that comes off the main one. Behind the build is a small pond with a custom tree hanging over it. Behind that are 3 different item farms. A sugarcane farm disguised by a spruce and cobblestone building which has a few lines of various green blocks which end up resembling the sugarcane item from Minecraft. Past that is a cactus farm, with the structure hiding it appearing as a rough recreation of the Minecraft cactus block. And lastly, a sheep shearing farm, which doesn't work because it's the education edition. There is no building covering that one, and the entire area is surrounded by a stone brick, crimson fence and warped slab wall. Autistic Corner, a little space where I build references to my current hyperfixations, special interests and whatever. Third life reference. It does in fact have me in a chokehold. A single poppy is placed with a lantern hanging off a birch slab above it. A sign to the left of the poppy reads, "It's home?" And to the right replies, "Home." Aha! Last life reference. A pixel artwork of the item Spyglass from Minecraft. Life series. Autism's Autistically. 3 pixelated hearts in a row, going from green, then to yellow, then to red. They are outlined in black. Third life has me in a chokehold. I miss them. Ah! A parrot and a cat face each other in a desert-like scene. The parrot sits on green concrete and the cat on red. A lilac and a poppy is between them. A sign next to the cat reads, "Can we still be friends?" as if the cat was saying the words. Wheat in an item frame. Sign behind it read, "Grain." A pixel art of an item Poppy from Minecraft. A sign on it reads, "I confess my love." A pixel art of a crescent moon. The sign on it reads, "The moon is, in fact, big."
Pink Diamond's Garden by Alex, he, they.
Pink Diamond's Garden, spoken for Alex. Pink Diamond is a character from the Steven Universe animated series. She owned this garden prior to starting her colony on Earth over 6,000 years ago. The garden sits on a large floating rock that is falling apart and is protected by a large dome-like greenhouse. From what is known, the garden was full of different flora, and she spent a great deal of time there until leaving to colonise Earth. It became extremely overgrown as she was away for 6,000 years. This build is a large green garden with white pathways and pink pillars. The paths loop around randomly, swirling past the pillars and through the flowers. Walking around the left path, you reach a sign. It reads, "Counting the seconds, standing alone as thousands of years go by. Is this how it works? Am I doing it right?" You reconnect onto the main pathway, heading to the magenta structure, the greenhouse, in the distance. But before you can get there, you reach a fountain adorned with bright colours. Behind the dome structure is a stairway. At the top is a walk pad. This is how you enter Pink Diamond's garden.